Hello students, here we are going to learn about an essay on saying please by A.G. Gardner. Let us learn about the author Alfred George Gardner. He was born on 2nd June 1865 and died on 3rd March 1946. The pen name of Gardner is Alpha of the Plot. In 1915, he contributed to the Star under the pseudonym Alpha of the Plot. When he was invited to choose the name of Star as a pseudonym, he chose the name of the brightest alpha star in constellation, the Plot. So, he is known as Alpha of the Plot. He was a journalist. He had speciality in his writing work. Actually, he blended the two forms of journalism and literature into one. Ultimately, he gave journalism a position of literature. He has written all types of essays like social, political, literary, moral or philosophical. His work is famous for the charming style of writing, simplicity and naturalism. His writing style is plain, lucid, and we see clarity in his thoughts. He is also known as Prophet of Joy. His essays are special for a cultural man. They give a mirth, laughter, and peace. Or we can say that his essay combine idea and emotions with beauty of form. Unfailing cheerfulness is the most important part of his essay. Let us talk about the theme of the essay on saying please. The world is a place where we have to live with a lot of different people who have different attitudes, different manners, traditions, and mentalities. They behave in different ways, but we have to put up with them so that the life can smoothly go on. Moreover, the writer wants to tell us that there is no law that can compel people to have a good manner. So here we can find out the theme of courtesy and morality. No law can force people to be well-mannered, but the civilization, culture and tradition of all good nations enjoin a man to be civil and tolerant. So this shows the theme of civility and control. So people should have good manners to make their life easier and more pleasant. Shows us the theme of the responsibility. So we can say the essay on saying please have the theme of courtesy, civility, morality, responsibility and control. It's an apt commentary on the mannerism of people in the society. In this essay, Gardner explores the issue of politeness as an extremely important and indispensable feature of civil society. Politeness, he argues, is that which keeps the social life of civilized man well-oiled and friction-free. Good temper gives rise to naturally pleasant behavior that radiates pleasantness all around. Conversely, bad temper breeds unclothed behavior that poisons the stream of life. So, both good and bad behavior are highly infectious. Now, the manifestation of good behavior depend on the tone of one's voice, the cast of one's lips, the expressions on one's face and such things that the law can never regulate. Gardner argues that one may get the sweetest revenge against boorish individuals by being excessively polite towards them. Here, in this essay, Gardner tells about two incidents. One is about liftman bad manner and another is about bus conductor good manner. First, we will see about the liftman bad manner. Let us understand the essay. The essay begins with the author recounting an incident of a lift attendant who threw a passenger out of his lift. The problem was that the passenger rather rudely demanded to be taken to the top floor. The liftman wanted a more polite request prefaced with the word please. Since the passenger refused to use the word, the liftman threw the passenger out of the lift. Commenting on the incident, Gardiner points out that the action of the liftman cannot be condoned. He thinks so because impoliteness is not considered to be legally punishable offense. Should a person use violence against a robber who has entered his house? Or against anyone who has assaulted him? The law will side with him. This is because both robbery and assault are forbidden by the law. However, there can be no law against rude behavior. Gardner feels that although we may feel sympathetic towards the liftman, we must agree that the law is right in not giving us the freedom to use violence against people whose manner or expressions we do not like. For if we were given such liberty, our hands would be always busy hitting people and the drain of the city would run blood all the time. The author says that the only penalty one has to pay for being rude or arrogant is that people will call him a rude fellow. The law, on the other hand, will protect rather than punish him. The legal system does not impose any restrictions on manner, just as it does not impose any restriction on one's person appearance. The hurting of person's feeling is not considered as a case where person who inflicts the hurt must be made to pay for damages. The law has no provision for defending people for moral or intellectual damages inflicted by uncaught people. Despite this, however, Gardner asserts that such damage are in no way negligible. The rude person behavior towards the liftman must have seemed to be the latter as an insult to his position. This must hurt more than a kick on his shins because he may get the law to act against the one who has kicked him, and in any case the pain of a kick soon pass away. The wound caused to one's self-respect, on the other hand, does not heal easily. Gardner imagines how the liftman must have brooded over the insult day and how, upon returning home, he must have given vent to his anger upon his wife in the evening. Bad manners easily infect people who come across it. The author gives an example from the play The Rivals of Sheridan to illustrate the point. Let us see that example. In the play, Sir Anthony Absolute bullies his son, who gets annoyed and passes on his annoyance to his personal servant, who in turn goes and kicks one of the lower servants in the household. Trying to trace the root of the lift passenger rude's behavior, Gardiner guesses that the problem might have begun with the housemaid who had been rude to the cook, who as a result might have been rude to his mistress, who in consequence might have passed on her annoyance to her husband, who ultimately passed on his annoyance by being rude to the liftman. Bad manners, in his opinion, are highly contagious and poison our life in journal, then the entire list of legally recognized crimes. If a woman is boxed by an otherwise gentle husband, there are many more who suffers in silence for bad temper. Yet the law cannot do anything in this regard. No decalogue could make a list of all the harms inflicted by manners, moods, facial expression, and the like. Nor can these be dictated by any law. Although everybody must necessarily support the law in the case of the liftman, but people will paradoxically feel sympathetic for him. Just because the law cannot compel us to use expressions such as please does not mean that we can do away with customs that are more scared than even the law. One such custom of civilized man is to acknowledge a service. Gardiner says that words like please and thank you are the small coins we pay on our journey through life as a civilized human being living in a civil society. These courtesies allow us to live in society without friction. Besides, these words help to keep cooperation between human beings on a level of friendliness and goodwill, instead of dividing us into superior who order and inferiors who are ordered about. The author says that only a vulgar person will order for a service which he can have by merely asking. This is so because, whereas a request will provide the service with goodwill, an order might provide the service but only with resentment. So this is all in the part 1 explanation. Let us sum up our essay. In this unit, we have made acquainted with one of the most popular essays where Gardiner talks about the importance of polite civil behavior in all aspects of our lives as social creatures. The essay has also taught us how good manners in ourselves can beget good manners in people we deal with. Similarly, we have also seen how bad manners can be equally contagious and can poison our life. Please, sorry, and thank you, we have seen are those loose change we pay through life to keep the wheels oiled and smoothly moving. So here we came to know the moral of this part is learn to be as polite as possible, but also to accept impoliteness when it occurs as a part of life. That is all in the first part of this essay. For the second part about the bus conductor good manner, do follow the next video. Thank you.